Hello and welcome back here on The Cave. My name is Elias, and in today's video we'll talk about the current inflation, we'll talk about the upgrade of Ethereum, what the current market is telling us, what Ethereum is doing, the current tax situation, the bankruptcy of FTX and the possible hope actually for FTX. We will also talk about the yield inversion. I covered that not in the past few episodes, and I just want to briefly cover it because some people asked how is that looking. I will also cover the Bitcoin chart, my trade, and what I'm currently doing. So with that being said, let's jump straight into it. Alright, if we go on CoinMarketCap, we see a lot of green numbers, and we do like green numbers because we respect the pump.
We all gotta believe in something, and I do believe in the power of the pump. It's kind of like, let the pump be with you.
And the pump is real, especially for Ethereum. And why is Ethereum actually pumping? Ethereum changed to proof of stake. What means proof of stake? Proof of stake means you stake your Ethereum, you give the Ethereum to the network, and in reward you will get staking rewards. So you can stake your Ethereum to be a validator. You need a lot of Ethereum. That's why a lot of people have such as Ethereum staking pools. So you stake your Ethereum in there, you get a part of the rewards. So Ethereum is a proof of stake blockchain, as Bitcoin, for example, is proof of work. So with Bitcoin, you probably already saw these huge machines, and they're loud and hot and it's crazy. And on Ethereum, they are more energy efficient since quite a bit now. And to basically participate in the ecosystem, you can stake your Ethereum. And these staked Ethereums, since a lot of Ethereum were locked for a long time, you can now unstake them with the new upgrade which came. And obviously you should think that now it goes down because everyone sells their Ethereum they staked a long time ago at a lower price than now, but people are still super bullish, and especially because no big selling pressure came, a lot of people also thought, hey, that's awesome, let's buy more Ethereum. And that's obviously also cool for me, since I am a big Ethereum holder, a big Ethereum fan, and I love it, what they're doing, how the development is going. And I also hold quite a bit, and my Ethereum bags get pumped at the moment, and I love it. So a lot of green movement in the markets, and we see it also on the Fear and Greed Index. We're going more and more towards greed, and since obviously a few days already, I am more skeptical on the course. I think we're going more and more into a overbought section, and the Fear and Greed Index shows more or less the same. And if you watch the channel since a bit, you know that I am more of a conservative guy. I'm not the biggest bull, especially at the moment. We're going more and more into a section, as you can see here, at the higher end, and it's time to be cautious. I mean, it's always time to be cautious in crypto, but especially when we have massive upwards movements, and a lot of people are actually also expecting that Q2 is not a green quarter. For now it looks quite green, and we are curious how it continues. At the end of the video, by the way, I will also go into the chart and show you my kind of perspective. Exactly, I have a new favorite newspaper, the Daily Degen, and it's just a newspaper which covers on a lot of DeFi stuff. And I will also more and more play into some DeFi topics within the news format, because it's just interesting to see such cool insights, especially also, I mean, they're also covering the inflation numbers. We saw here March, as previously covered, 5%, and cool stuff here. Really cool stuff here. And when we talk about cool stuff, I already covered on Ethereum a bit. I will also link that thread, so if you are a bit already into DeFi and crypto, you will understand what is meant in this thread. They're talking about withdrawal numbers, what's possible to withdraw, and also from which kind of protocols, because as you may already heard, Lido, for example, the biggest liquid staking provider for Ethereum, they hold a lot of Ethereum, accounting for 57% of the whole Ethereum staked supply. I think it was, could be around this number. And a ton of Ethereum to be unlocked. Let's see how we evolve. For now, it's quite cool. And the next thing is that FTX actually recovered $7.3 billion in assets. To be honest, I don't know how much they used to have, or how much they actually went bankrupt, or how much they owe still their customers, but it's still a bullish sign. And we saw, if we go back to the chart, FTX token. Yeah, exactly. it skyrocketed yesterday, I think. Yeah, it made it like 100%. I mean, it's not too crazy, but it looks like FTX could have a comeback, and this would actually be crazy. This would actually be crazy. And it was funny because just yesterday, I think, or the day before, I told the guys like, hey, it would be super cool to acquire that name Blockfolio. And Blockfolio, as you may already heard, was a coin tracker back in 2017, 18, and then got bought by FTX, or it transitioned to FTX. And would be a cool name, but yeah, looks like they're coming back. They're coming back. And I'm not super happy about it or super unhappy about it. It feels like when you're coming back with your ex-girlfriend somehow. It's like it's still a bit weird, but may it works. May already too much happened. Who knows? Who knows? But we're curious. We're curious. All right. With that being said, to some boring topics, which is taxes. I mean, it's not boring since it's not our problem. There were 320,000 tax notices sent out as unreported crypto taxes, surges 40%. So as you see right here, 2019 or 2018, somewhere around that, it was like 15,000 notices sent out. Then year before last year, 150,000 notices, and this year 328. And that's a ton. That's actually a lot. And they just have the thought, or that they don't make their crypto taxes right, probably because they had cryptos the year before and no changes this year, and either they had all their money in FTX and it's gone, or BlockFi or Celsius or whatever, or they made something wrong. And yes, I mean, looks like a lot of actually countries have problems with crypto taxes over, especially last year, since I also heard another press release from Watcher Guru that only a tiny bit of people actually made their crypto taxes correctly, or they even made it. So to encourage you probably to do the crypto taxes, last year or this year I made it myself, and it was super easy. I just had to export some stuff, and in like 15 minutes it was done. So all fine, actually. Shouldn't be too hard. All right, with that being said, to the next topic, which is the yield inversion of the 10-year versus 2-year Treasury yield. This is an important chart. Don't mind the red one, just check out the blue one. So this is the yield inversion, and it shows basically how the yields between the 10-year bond yield and the 2-year bond yield just fluctuate and are compared to each other. And I don't want to go too hard into the topic what it actually is exactly, but I will talk over just briefly. So as you may already heard of, 1989 was the loan crisis was back then, crazy stuff going on. And then in 2000 we had the dot-com bubble, 2008 the global financial crisis, and it was always when the 10-year yield was lower than the 2-year yield. So this basically means the bonds of the 2-year Treasury paid more in yield than the 10-year ones. And every time that happened, we had a financial crisis. And right now we're at an all-time low. So this is actually quite scary. And for now, we don't have this hard of a crisis. I mean, we definitely have some issues, but Jerome and the whole Fed is actually doing their best to make a soft landing and do not have too much problem with the US dollar. But it looks quite bad. And we should definitely be aware that something could bang and go super, super bad. And I am kind of still in the mindset that we don't see a soft landing. We will see something really bad happening. I don't know when. I actually thought it would happen way earlier. So I remember back then when the Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, I thought now it's gone, now bank run and it's going bad. But I actually watched an interesting video where they talked about that this bank crisis is not as bad as 2008. Since 2008, the banks were just way too speculative and invested in stuff which completely went down. But now the banks are actually in a quite safe asset, which is actually treasury bonds, especially also long ones. And now they don't have the same value anymore, and it goes down. And now the Fed or just the national banks, they print money and give it to the bank, so they are liquid. And because if they would have to sell their treasury bonds, it would be in a minus, and this is not good. And the good thing now is that we can basically print money, give it to the banks, the bank can pay out their customers, and they can still hold their treasury bonds because the treasury bonds are anyways in the same ecosystem as the government and the Fed. So it's like the Fed is basically saying you can borrow money from us, you will pay a fee on it obviously, but later, and you don't have to sell your treasury bonds right now, right? And so everyone is basically happy. The banks are not happy because they have to pay some fees on these loans, but better than go bankrupt. Yes, with that being said, to the next thing, which is a price prediction from Trader XO. And I just randomly stumbled over it, and I was like, he said like, how would you feel? I was about to comment like, confirmed, because that's exactly what we're talking about the whole time. And I will quickly check out the chart with you. So what I am emphasizing on, what I'm telling all the time, is that I think that this movement here is something similar as 2019. And you see the third halving here. And if I'm not completely incorrect right now, the next halving will be around, I think, May, June, around this time. And what we saw is always a sideways movement. We saw that in 2016, we saw that in 2019. We always saw a sideways movement. We saw like a mid rally run, so something like in 2019, where we went from, I think, like 3.5k to up to 13,000. So it's like a 3x or 4x, and that's cool. And I think we can also see something like right here. I am super optimistic that we could reach levels from 30 to 35, 40,000 probably, but I don't think that this is the parabolic bull run we are aiming for. That's also why I have my dollar cost average position open. So now you kind of know my opinion. I emphasized on this opinion over the last few videos, and I'm really sticking to it. And that's also why I have my dollar cost average position open, where I just make daily purchases of Bitcoin and Ethereum. And as you can see right here, $5,300 invested in Bitcoin and $3,600 in Ethereum. And we have a total profit of around $1,100. Super cool return on investment, currently around 12%, 11%. Super cool. I'm very, very happy about that. And my average prices are also super deep. So 1.7k in Ethereum and 27,000 on Bitcoin. Super happy about that. And another person which is currently happy is Michael Saylor with his, I don't know how many, 140,000 Bitcoins on an average price of 30,000, because he's now into massive profit. So yeah, this guy's really, he filled up the bags quite hard, but I think he will go in the minus, in the big minus before we really start into the next bull market. But another thing I want to emphasize on, if you hold Bitcoin and Ethereum, just check out DCHF. It's such a cool platform. I use it on a really daily basis. I provide liquidity. I use the stability pool. I put all my money into the borrowing positions, because you can just borrow DCHF with 0% interest. That's super awesome, and I love it, and the people also love it. The TVL is just shooting up all the time. It's going great. Also, I think the Moneta token is performing quite well. Let me see. Yeah, you see, going quite well. Cool. Yes, with that being said, I think we are at the end of the video. I really love this one. It's super cool. I want to do it more flexible and just mix some stuff in, look at some different variables. As always, this is no financial advice. I like to speak over courses. I like to speak over charts. I want to analyze charts with you guys. I want to show you protocols. I want to show you stuff. If you have anything you would like me to cover in the next video, let me know in the comment section. I always love these suggestions. And with that being said, I wish you a very nice rest of your day. See you in the next video. Bye bye.